Every morning when you wake up, you stand at the gateway of creation. The world you see is nothing but a mirror, faithfully reflecting the impressions you hold within. If you would change the world outside, you must first change the words you whisper to yourself. For the spoken word is not mere sound. It is the vibrational key that unlocks the unseen and gives form to the formless. You do not need anything outside of you to begin. You need no approval, no conditions to be met. The only requirement is that you dare to assume the truth of what you desire. And so each morning, before the mind is burdened by the echoes of yesterday, speak these 5 lines to yourself, not as idle words, but as divine declarations. Speak them with conviction, for what you claim in consciousness must manifest in experience. Nothing happens to you by chance. Every event, every encounter, every opportunity is drawn to you by the assumptions you hold. The law is simple. Assume the feeling of already being what you wish to be, and the world will conform to that assumption. Say to yourself, I am the creator of my reality. Feel the weight of these words. Let them sink into your being. From this moment, you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny. The world is not against you. The universe is not withholding your desires. It is only responding to the frequency you emit. When you declare, everything is working in my favor, you shift the tide of energy. You move from resistance to flow, from doubt to knowing. The obstacles you once feared dissolve before you, for you now walk in the certainty that life is happening for you, not to you. You do not chase after what is already yours. The secret is not to seek, but to assume. The moment you desire a thing, it is done in the unseen. But to experience it, you must abandon the state of longing and step into the state of possession. Each morning, remind yourself, my desires are already fulfilled. Speak it, feel it, and walk as though it were true. The world will have no choice but to confirm your assumption. The only barriers that exist are the ones you have accepted as real. If you believe yourself unworthy, you will unknowingly reject the very blessings you seek. And so each day, reaffirm your worth. Declare, I am worthy of all that is good. Not someday, not after you prove yourself. Now, this moment. The universe does not measure worthiness. It reflects belief. Speak it, believe it, and let life shower you with all that is already yours. Doubt is the great thief of manifestations. The impatient mind questions, worries, and disrupts the natural flow. But the wise one knows. What is assumed with feeling must harden into fact. When you affirm, I trust the unseen process of life, you step into the rhythm of creation. You no longer question whether it is working. You know it is done. The seed has been planted and its growth is inevitable. Speak these words each morning, not as mere affirmations, but as declarations of truth. Assume them, feel them, and let them saturate your being. For as surely as the sun rises, the world must yield to the image you hold within. I am the creator of my reality. These words are not a mere statement. They are the foundation upon which your entire life is built. The world you see is nothing but a reflection of the consciousness you hold. If you believe yourself to be a victim of circumstances, tossed about by external forces, then that will be your experience. But if you awaken to the truth that you are the operant power, the sole architect of your existence, then everything must align with that realization. There is no power outside of you that dictates the conditions of your life. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Everything you see, every event you encounter, every opportunity that appears or disappears is a projection of your inner state. The world is a grand mirror, reflecting back to you the assumptions you have accepted as true. And so if you desire to change anything in your life, you do not change things, you change yourself. Your assumptions, whether conscious or unconscious, are the blueprints of your reality. The moment you accept an idea and assume it to be true, it begins to take form in the world of facts. You may look at your current life and think that what surrounds you is simply the result of chance, but nothing is random. Every condition you face has emerged from a cause, and that cause is the state of consciousness you have occupied in the past. The great mistake is believing that things must change before you can feel differently, that you must wait for evidence before accepting something as true. But this is an inversion of the law. You must first embody the reality you seek before it can materialize. You must first claim yourself to be what you desire before the world has any choice but to confirm it. This is the secret that so few understand. The outer world is nothing more than an echo of the inner. If you wish to be prosperous, you must not dwell in the state of lack. You must not beg, hope, or wish for wealth to come to you. Instead, you must assume the feeling of already possessing it. Walk in the knowing that it is yours. Speak to yourself as one who already has all that he desires. Let your inner conversations be filled with the conviction of having, not wanting. If you persist in this assumption, the world will have no option but to rearrange itself to match your inner state. Likewise, if you desire love, you must not wait for someone to come and complete you. You must first assume yourself to be deeply loved, cherished, and valued. You must embody the feeling of already being in the relationship you seek, not in a state of longing or loneliness. For the one who sees himself as unwanted will only find further confirmation of that belief in the world. But the one who walks with the knowing that he is already adored, already desired, will see that truth reflected back to him. There is no exception to this law. Every aspect of your life, health, wealth, relationships, opportunities, is governed by the state of consciousness you choose to dwell in. But here lies the great key. You have always been creating your reality, whether you have done so consciously or not. Every passing thought, every dominant belief, every internal dialogue shapes the world around you. The only difference now is that you are becoming aware of this truth. To awaken is to take full responsibility for your life. No longer can you blame conditions, people, or circumstances. No longer can you look outside yourself for solutions, for the power is and always has been within you. You must take hold of this truth and embody it in every moment. Do not wait for the world to show you proof. Be the proof. Assume the feeling of already being the person you desire to be, and watch as the world bends to reflect your inner conviction. Many will hear these words and dismiss them, for they have spent a lifetime believing in the tyranny of external forces. They will say that life is hard, that struggle is necessary, that fate is unchangeable. But these are only beliefs, and as long as one holds them, they will be true in their experience. Yet the moment they are discarded and replaced with a new assumption, reality must shift. For the law is impersonal. It does not judge, it does not question, it simply reflects. And so when you rise in the morning before the noise of the world rushes in, speak these words with absolute certainty. I am the creator of my reality. Do not say them as mere affirmations repeated without feeling. Declare them with conviction, with the authority of one who knows their power. Let them sink into your being. Let them become the foundation upon which every thought, every action, every decision is made. If you persist in this knowing, nothing will be impossible to you. The world will become your canvas, shaped by the images you hold within. And you will no longer live as one who reacts to life, but as one who directs it. Everything is working in my favor. This is not wishful thinking. This is not blind optimism. This is law. The moment you accept this truth, the moment you live by it, you will begin to see how the seemingly random events of life are not random at all. Every experience, every encounter, every so-called obstacle is conspiring to bring you into the fulfillment of your desires. The great mistake people make is assuming that only the things they understand, only the things that feel good in the moment, are working for them. They look at delays and difficulties and believe something is going wrong. They measure their progress by what they can see, what they can touch, and because they do not yet see the evidence of what they desire, they assume it is not coming. But this is a misunderstanding of how reality works. Everything, whether seen or unseen, is moving according to the state you occupy. The moment you claim something as true within yourself, the universe begins to arrange the pieces. People move, circumstances shift, events take place, all in response to the assumption you hold. But the process is often beyond your conscious understanding. You may not see how everything is aligning. You may even mistake the unfolding for opposition. Yet, if you persist in the knowing that everything is working in your favor, you will not be disturbed by appearances. Consider the seed that is planted in the soil. If you were to judge by what you see, you might believe that nothing is happening. You may look at the ground and think the seed is buried, forgotten, lost in the darkness. But beneath the surface, it is taking root. It is gathering strength. It is pushing through the unseen until, in the perfect moment, it breaks through into visibility. This is how manifestation works. It is not always immediate, not always obvious, but it is always in motion. Doubt is the only thing that disrupts this process. The one who trusts that everything is working in their favor will not dig up the seed in impatience. They will not question whether it is growing. They will not allow appearances to shake them. They will remain steadfast, knowing that their assumption must harden into fact. And so, when challenges arise, they do not resist them. They do not see them as setbacks, but as necessary steps in the unfolding of their vision. Most people live in a state of resistance. They react to circumstances as if they are separate from their inner world. They allow their emotions to be dictated by what they see, rather than by what they have claimed within. But the one who understands the law walks with certainty. They look at everything, even that which others would call a difficulty, and say, "This too is working in my favor." And because they assume this to be true, it becomes true. When you adopt this mindset, life begins to flow in ways you never imagined. You stop fighting against what is happening. You stop fearing the unknown. You begin to see how even the unexpected, even the things you once labeled as setbacks, are part of a larger design. What seemed like a delay was actually perfect timing. What seemed like a rejection was actually redirection. What seemed like loss was making space for something greater. This is not about forcing yourself to feel good in moments of challenge. It is about knowing deep within you that no matter how things appear, they are aligning in your favor. It is about refusing to be shaken by temporary conditions. It is about living from the end, trusting that what you have assumed is already done, and allowing the pieces to fall into place in their own perfect way. Many people abandon their desires too soon. They declare something to be true, but when the outer world does not immediately reflect it, they waver. They begin to doubt, to question, to let fear take hold, and in doing so, they undo their own manifestation. The world is always responding, always conforming, but it cannot bring you what you are not willing to persist in. If you wish to see evidence that everything is working in your favor, you must first assume it to be so. You must live as though it were already true. You must walk through life with the unshakable confidence that nothing is ever against you. Every conversation, every interaction, every seeming coincidence is part of a divine orchestration leading you exactly where you are meant to be. When you wake each morning, remind yourself, everything is working in my favor. Say it not as a hope, but as a fact. Say it with the certainty that the unseen is always moving, always aligning, always creating the path for your highest good. When you do this, life will begin to reflect back to you the very assumption you hold. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, and what once seemed like obstacles will reveal themselves as stepping stones to your greatest fulfillment. I am a magnet for miracles. This is not a hopeful statement. This is not something to be wished for or desired. It is a reality that must be accepted as truth. The world around you is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every event, every encounter, every so-called coincidence is a reflection of the state you occupy. When you assume yourself to be a magnet for miracles, you are not asking for life to favor you, you are commanding it to do so by the very nature of your being. Miracles are not accidents. They are not rare occurrences bestowed upon the fortunate few. They are the natural outpouring of a consciousness that aligns itself with the infinite. The problem most people face is that they believe miracles are external phenomena, things that happen outside of them, beyond their control. But the truth is, miracles begin within. They take root in the mind before they ever appear in the world of form. Everything in your life is responding to the assumptions you hold. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, as someone who's constantly facing obstacles, life will mirror that assumption back to you. If you believe that things rarely work out for you, that you are always one step behind, then that is exactly what you will continue to experience. But the moment you shift your inner world, the moment you claim a new reality within yourself, the outer world must follow. This is the law. Most people are waiting for evidence before they believe. They want to see proof that miracles exist before they accept them as a natural part of life. But this is like standing before a mirror and waiting for your reflection to smile before you do. The world does not lead, it follows. Your inner conviction comes first. When you declare, "I am a magnet for miracles," you are not making a request, you are issuing a command. You are setting into motion forces that must bring you exactly what you have assumed. This is why faith is essential. Not faith in something outside of you, not faith in chance or luck, but faith in the law itself. Faith that the moment you assume a thing to be true, it must be reflected in your world. This is not about forcing things to happen. It is not about effort or struggle. It is about alignment. The moment you live from the state of being a magnet for miracles, you no longer chase. You no longer worry. You no longer question. You simply allow. The greatest barrier to miracles is doubt. Doubt creeps in when the outer world does not immediately conform to your assumption. You declare yourself a magnet for miracles, but when circumstances seem unchanged, when no grand shift appears before you, you begin to question. This wavering state, this inconsistency in belief, is what delays the manifestation. The one who truly knows does not waver. They do not need to see immediate proof because they understand the unseen is always moving, always aligning, always preparing the way. The mind that is firmly planted in the assumption of miracles will see them everywhere. A chance encounter, a sudden opportunity, a door that was once closed swinging wide open. All of these are the effects of an inner cause. Nothing in your life is random. Everything is responding to the dominant state you hold. To live as a magnet for miracles means to walk through life with an expectancy of good. It means knowing that no matter how things may appear, everything is working for you. It means trusting that the unseen forces of the universe are conspiring on your behalf. The moment you claim this as truth, your world begins to shift. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. You will meet the right people. Opportunities will come effortlessly. What once seemed impossible will become inevitable. The key is persistence. You must not declare this truth once and then forget it. It must become your way of being. Every morning, as you rise, affirm with absolute certainty, "I am a magnet for miracles." Say it, not as a wish, but as a fact. Say it until it is ingrained within you, until it becomes the foundation upon which you stand. And as you go about your day, carry this knowing with you. Do not let circumstances dictate your belief. Do not let appearances sway you. Hold firm in your assumption, and the world will bend to meet you. This is not theory. This is not something to test half-heartedly. This is a law that governs all things. The moment you fully accept that you are a magnet for miracles, the moment you cease to entertain any thought to the contrary, Your reality will reflect it without fail. Do not wait for proof. Do not wait for signs. Assume it now, live from it now, and watch as life unfolds in ways that will leave you in awe. I forgive myself and release the past. These words are not mere affirmations. They are the key to unlocking the boundless power that has always been within you. Until you free yourself from the chains of past experiences, until you stop reliving old stories in your mind, you will continue to see the same patterns unfold in your reality. You are not meant to be held captive by regrets, mistakes, or past hurts. You are the creator of your life, and as long as you dwell on what was, you cannot move into what can be. Forgiveness is not about condoning what has happened. It is not about justifying wrongs or pretending that pain never existed. It is about understanding that everything in your world is a reflection of your state of being. The past does not exist anywhere except in your consciousness, and as long as you give it power, it will continue to shape your present and dictate your future. The only way to break free is to release it entirely, to let go of every lingering emotion, every lingering story, and step into the reality of now. Many believe that forgiveness is for the benefit of others, but the truth is, it is for you. It is an act of self-liberation. Holding on to resentment, guilt, or sorrow binds you to the very things you wish to escape. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of repetition, replaying the same scenes over and over again. But the moment you declare, "I forgive myself," and release the past, you are cutting the ties that hold you to an unwanted reality. You are reclaiming your power. You must understand that no experience is ever wasted. Every event in your life, no matter how painful or challenging, has brought you to this very moment. There are no accidents, no mistakes, only lessons that have shaped you, experiences that have expanded your understanding. When you see this truth, forgiveness becomes natural. It is not about erasing the past. It is about transforming your relationship to it. It is about recognizing that you are not the same person you once were. The greatest barrier to self-forgiveness is the belief that you must suffer for your past choices, that somehow in punishing yourself, you are making things right. But suffering does not correct the past. It only prolongs its hold over you. The universe does not demand suffering. It does not require penance. It responds only to the state you occupy. When you continue to dwell in regret, you are creating from that place, drawing more experiences that affirm your unworthiness. The only way to change the script is to step into a new identity, one free from the burdens of yesterday. Imagine yourself completely unburdened, walking forward without the weight of guilt or regret. Imagine how light, how free you would feel. That feeling is available to you now. The moment you accept that the past holds no power over you unless you give it power. The moment you say with conviction, "I forgive myself and release the past," you are declaring your freedom. But you must mean it. You cannot merely speak the words while secretly holding on to the old emotions. You must let them go entirely and completely. And the way to do this is simple. Stop revisiting the past in your mind. Stop telling the same stories. Stop justifying your pain. Every time you relive an old memory, you are keeping it alive in your present. Instead, shift your focus to the now. See yourself as new, as whole, as free. Your subconscious mind accepts whatever you impress upon it. If you continue to tell yourself that you are a prisoner of your past, that is exactly what you will experience. But if you begin to see yourself as renewed, if you assume the feeling of freedom, then freedom must become your reality. This is not wishful thinking, this is law. The world you experience is a reflection of the assumptions you hold about yourself. Change those assumptions and the world must change with you. Do not wait for external validation. Do not wait for someone else to grant you permission to move forward. The power is within you. Right now, in this very moment, you can decide to be free. You can decide that nothing from your past defines you, that every choice, every action, every moment has led you to a greater understanding, and that understanding is what will now shape your future. This is the way to true transformation. It is not found in dwelling on what has been, but in fully embracing what is. And what is this: you are unlimited, you are free. You are not bound to any version of yourself that no longer serves you. The past is only as real as you allow it to be. Let it go and step into the limitless possibilities that await you. I am grateful for this new day and the limitless opportunities it brings. These words, when spoken with conviction, do more than set a positive tone for your morning. They align you with the unseen forces that shape your reality. Gratitude is not just a polite expression. It is the very key that unlocks the door to abundance, the force that draws to you all that you desire. To truly understand its power, you must go beyond surface-level appreciation and embody a state of gratitude so deeply that it becomes the very foundation upon which your world is built. Most people wake up carrying the weight of yesterday. They allow old thoughts, old emotions, and old fears to dictate the new day before it has even begun. But you are not here to live in repetition. You are here to create, to expand, to step into the infinite potential that each day holds. And this begins with gratitude, not as a mere reaction to external events, but as an internal state that precedes them. To give thanks in advance is to assume the reality of your desires, to affirm that what you seek is already yours. This is not wishful thinking. This is the creative act in motion. Gratitude is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. When you wake up and declare, I am grateful for this new day and the limitless opportunities it brings, you are shifting your consciousness to a place where everything is possible. You are training your mind to see beyond limitation, beyond past failures, beyond perceived obstacles. And as your perception changes, so does your world. You are never experiencing life as it is. You are experiencing life as you are. The state you occupy in consciousness is what determines the events, circumstances, and opportunities that unfold before you. When you truly understand this, you no longer wait for conditions to appear before you feel grateful. You do not say, I will be grateful when I receive what I want. Instead, you say, I am grateful now, for I know that all I desire is already on its way. You do not beg for change. You embody the change. This is the difference between those who struggle and those who thrive. Those who struggle believe they must see first, then believe. Those who thrive believe first, then see. Gratitude is the expression of this belief. Many people misunderstand the power of gratitude because they associate it only with things they already have. But true gratitude extends beyond the present moment. It reaches into the unseen and calls forth what has yet to manifest. If you desire abundance, be grateful as though it were already yours. If you seek love, give thanks as if it has already arrived. If you wish for success, wake up each morning and declare your gratitude for the limitless opportunities that await you. And as you persist in this state, the world around you will begin to mirror it. You must understand that your words and feelings are seeds planted in the soil of your subconscious mind. Each morning you have a choice to plant seeds of lack, fear, and limitation, or to plant seeds of gratitude, expansion, and abundance. The words you speak to yourself are not idle statements. They are commands issued to the unseen forces that shape your life. When you say, I am grateful for this new day, you are instructing your mind to seek out reasons to be grateful. You are shifting your attention away from what is missing and toward what is possible. And because your attention is the creative force that molds your reality, what you focus on expands. This is not about denying reality. It is about shaping reality. If you wake up each morning and focus on problems, you reinforce them. If you dwell on yesterday's failures, you carry them into today. But if you wake up and affirm gratitude for the limitless possibilities before you, you open yourself to a reality far greater than the one you have known. Your consciousness is like a tuning dial, and gratitude is the frequency that aligns you with all that is good, all that is abundant, all that is already waiting for you to claim it. You do not need to see the full picture to be grateful. You do not need proof before you believe. The very act of waking up and giving thanks is an acknowledgement that life is working in your favor, even when you cannot yet see how. And the moment you shift your internal state, the external world begins to move in ways you could not have anticipated. Doors open, unexpected opportunities arise, paths appear where none seemed to exist before. This is the power of living in gratitude. The mind left unchecked will always seek problems. It will replay old fears, dwell on what is lacking, and resist the unknown. But gratitude bypasses this resistance. It lifts you above the level of the problem and places you at the level of the solution. It is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about recognizing that you hold the power to shape what comes next. And as you begin each day with gratitude, you step into the role of the creator, no longer waiting for life to change, but directing it with your own consciousness. So when you rise in the morning, do not let old thoughts dictate your first moments. Do not let worries or regrets be the first thing you entertain. Instead, claim your power. Speak the words, "I am grateful for this new day and the limitless opportunities it brings." And say them not as empty phrases, but as a declaration of truth. For when you assume the feeling of gratitude, even before the evidence appears, you set in motion a reality where what you seek is already seeking you. I choose to live in alignment with my highest self. This statement is more than words. It is a command to your subconscious mind, an affirmation that reshapes your reality. To live in alignment with your highest self is to recognize that you are not bound by the conditions of the past, nor by the limitations of the present. You are, at every moment, the architect of your own experience, the creator of the world in which you dwell. Your higher self is not something outside of you. It is the essence of who you truly are, the limitless being that exists beyond doubt, fear, or perceived lack. When you speak these words each morning, you are making a choice to step into your divine power, to reject the illusions of limitation, and to create your life from a place of conscious intention. Most people live their lives in reaction to the external world. They allow circumstances to dictate their emotions, their thoughts, and their actions. They look at what is and believe that it is all that can be. But to live in alignment with your higher self is to know that what you see before you is merely the reflection of past states of consciousness. It is not fixed. It is not permanent. It is malleable, subject to change. The moment you change the way you see yourself, you are never trapped, never powerless. The only thing that holds you back is the illusion that you are anything less than infinite. To choose alignment is to shift your inner world first, before expecting anything to change on the outside. It is to assume the state of the person you wish to be, even before the evidence appears. If you desire to be confident, you do not wait for external validation. You embody confidence now. If you desire to be abundant, you do not wait for wealth to appear. You assume the feeling of abundance now. If you desire love, you do not seek it outside of yourself. You become love, and in doing so, you draw it to you effortlessly. This is the key that unlocks all doors. The understanding that you are always creating from within, not from without. Your highest self is already within you, waiting to be expressed. It is the version of you that knows no doubt, no hesitation, no fear. It does not beg for change, it commands it. It does not wish for better circumstances, it creates them. And the only thing that separates you from this version of yourself is your willingness to assume its reality now. Most people wait. They wait for signs, for proof, for conditions to change before they give themselves permission to be who they truly are. But those who understand the power of consciousness know that waiting is an illusion. There is no future moment where you will finally become your highest self. There is only now. And in this moment you decide. When you wake each morning and declare, "I choose to live in alignment with my highest self," you are not making a passive statement. You are issuing a directive to your subconscious mind, instructing it to rearrange your reality to match this new assumption. And as you persist in this state, everything in your external world will begin to shift. People, circumstances, and opportunities will align to reflect the inner transformation you have chosen. The world does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. To live in alignment means to be unwavering in your assumption, no matter what appears before you. It means that even when circumstances contradict your vision, you do not falter. You do not look to the outside world for confirmation. You hold firm in your inner knowing. If you assume wealth but find yourself in lack, you do not give in to doubt. You persist. If you assume health but face illness, you do not waver. You persist. If you assume success but encounter setbacks, you do not surrender. You persist. Because you understand that the external world is merely the reflection of past thoughts, past beliefs, past states of consciousness, and the moment you refuse to be moved by appearances, the moment you remain steadfast in your assumption, the world must conform. It has no choice. Your mind will try to convince you otherwise. It will present doubts, fears, and reasons why you should return to the familiar, to the comfortable, to the limited version of yourself that the world has conditioned you to accept. But you must rise above the noise. You must remind yourself that you are not a product of circumstances. You are the creator of them. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are the master of it. And when you truly embrace this understanding, there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. Every day you are presented with a choice: to remain as you've been, or to step into the fullness of who you are. And that choice is made in your thoughts, in your assumptions, in the state of consciousness you occupy. There's no one keeping you from your highest self but you. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop looking outside for permission, the moment you decide that you are already that which you seek, everything changes. So speak these words each morning, not as a hopeful wish, but as an unshakable truth. I choose to live in alignment with my highest self. And as you embody this reality, watch as the world bends to reflect the power of your assumption. I am worthy of all the good life has to offer. This is not merely a statement, it is an undeniable truth, a declaration of your divine inheritance. Yet, for so many, the very idea of worthiness is clouded by years of conditioning, by beliefs rooted in lack, by an identity shaped by the external world rather than the infinite power within. To claim your worth is not to seek validation from outside of yourself, nor is it to wait for the world to approve of your desires. It is to know deep within that you are already enough, that all you seek is already yours, and that the only thing required is your acceptance of this reality. The great mistake people make is believing they must earn worthiness. They are taught that good must be deserved, that success must be justified, that love must be proven. They carry guilt, doubt, and a sense of unworthiness because they have been conditioned to believe that happiness is something they must struggle for. But worthiness is not something to be achieved, it is something to be realized. The moment you accept yourself as worthy, without conditions, without hesitation, is the moment you unlock the door to all that is waiting for you. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to wait until you have accomplished some great feat before allowing yourself to feel worthy of love, abundance, health, and joy. The world does not determine your worthiness. You do. The moment you accept that you are worthy of all the good life has to offer, you shift your consciousness. And in doing so, you shift your entire reality. You are always manifesting, not by effort, but by the state of consciousness you occupy. And if you occupy a state of lack, believing that you must struggle to be deserving, then struggle is all you will know. But the instant you step into the assumption that you are worthy now, without delay, without question, the world must rearrange itself to reflect that truth. The reason so many struggle to receive the good they desire is not because life withholds anything from them, but because they withhold it from themselves. They look at their past mistakes and say, I am not worthy. They compare themselves to others and say, I have not done enough. They see their current conditions and say, I must wait until things improve. But these are illusions, mere shadows cast by a mind that has forgotten its power. Your worth is not defined by your past. It is not measured by external circumstances. It is not something that fluctuates based on the opinions of others. Your worth is intrinsic, unshakable, absolute. The moment you declare with conviction that you are worthy of all the good life has to offer, you activate a shift in consciousness that sets in motion the manifestation of that very truth. Most people live their lives as beggars, asking for scraps from a universe that is willing to give them everything. They believe they must plead, struggle, and prove themselves before they can receive. But this is not the way of creation. The truth is, you do not need to ask for what is already yours. You only need to claim it. The moment you assume your worth, the moment you step into the knowing that you are deserving, you begin to attract to yourself all that aligns with that state of being. The world is simply a mirror, reflecting back to you the assumptions you hold about yourself. If you believe you are unworthy, the world will show you evidence to support that belief. It will give you circumstances, people, and experiences that confirm your assumption. But if you shift your belief, if you choose to see yourself as already worthy, as already deserving, then the world will reflect that as well. It will bring opportunities, relationships, and abundance that affirm your inner truth. The shift does not begin outside of you, it begins within. And the moment you change how you see yourself, the world must change in response. There is no power outside of you deciding whether you are worthy. There is no force withholding good from you. You are not waiting on life. Life is waiting on you. The moment you accept your worthiness without hesitation, without fear, you will find that all you desire was never out of reach. It was only waiting for you to claim it. So each morning, when you speak the words, I am worthy of all the good life has to offer, do not say them as a mere affirmation. Say them as a declaration, as a knowing, as a truth that cannot be denied. Feel the reality of these words, embody them, live them. And as you do, watch as the world bends to reflect your new state of being. For when you claim your worth, life has no choice but to prove you right. I am grateful for everything I have. These words are not merely a polite acknowledgement of life's blessings, but a profound key to unlocking the limitless abundance already present. Gratitude is not an effect, it is a cause. It is not something you feel only when good things appear. It is the very force that brings them into existence. To live in gratitude is to live in the awareness that all you desire is already yours, that the universe is conspiring in your favor, and that you are never in lack. The unawakened mind believes gratitude is reserved for moments of visible success, for circumstances that align with one's expectations, for tangible evidence of progress. But gratitude is not a reaction. It is a state of being, a powerful creative force that aligns you with the reality you seek. Most people live their lives waiting for something to change before they feel grateful. They say, I will be thankful when I have more money. I will be grateful when I find love. I will express appreciation when my life improves. And so they remain in a state of waiting, never realizing that they have reversed the natural order of creation. Gratitude is not the result of abundance, it is the cause of it. To cultivate gratitude in the present moment, even before any evidence appears, is to align yourself with the very things you desire. The world is nothing but a mirror, reflecting your internal state, and when you live in constant gratitude, life has no choice but to provide you with more to be grateful for. Consider the difference between two minds, one that sees only what is missing, and one that sees the infinite blessings already present. The first looks around and says, I don't have enough. My life is lacking. I am waiting for more. The second, however, looks at the very same circumstances and says, I am blessed. I have everything I need within me. Life is unfolding perfectly. These two minds do not live in the same world, even if they stand in the same place. For the one who focuses on lack will always find lack, and the one who lives in gratitude will always be met with more to appreciate. The difference is not in their external conditions, but in their inner state of being. When you declare, I am grateful for everything I have, you are not just acknowledging what is visible, you are affirming a deeper truth. You are shifting your consciousness from one of lack to one of abundance. You are no longer waiting for life to prove itself to you. You are stepping into the awareness that life has already given you everything. And as you embody this state, more will come, for life cannot help but respond to your assumption. Gratitude is the highest form of faith, for it requires you to trust in the unseen, to rejoice in the certainty of what is yet to appear. It is easy to feel grateful when your desires have materialized, but the true power of gratitude is in expressing it before the evidence arrives. To say, I am grateful for my wealth, even before it appears in your bank account, is to prepare the way for its arrival. To say, I am grateful for love, even before you see it manifest, is to create the conditions for its presence. Gratitude is not just an emotion. It is a vibrational frequency, a creative force that calls forth the reality it affirms. Most people misunderstand gratitude because they believe it is conditional. They believe it must be earned, that it must be justified by circumstances. But gratitude is not something you do, it is something you live. It is not an occasional practice. It is a constant state of being. And the more you cultivate it, the more life will reflect it back to you. Those who live in gratitude experience an ease, a flow, an effortless unfolding of their desires. They do not chase, they do not struggle, for they know that all is already given. Their gratitude is not for what they see, it is for what they know to be true. To awaken each morning and declare, I am grateful for everything I have, is to set the tone for your entire reality. It is to step into a world where abundance is your natural state, where all things work together for your good, where life is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. It is to live in the certainty that everything is unfolding perfectly, that every moment is a gift, that every experience is leading you toward the realization of your highest self. Gratitude does not require proof. It requires conviction. It does not wait for evidence, it creates it. And when you make gratitude your foundation, when you choose to live in a state of appreciation, regardless of external conditions, you will find that life will rise to meet you in ways you never imagined. For to be grateful is not to react to what is, it is to create what will be. You now understand that the words you speak to yourself each morning are not mere affirmations, but the very foundation of your reality. They are the seeds you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious, shaping the experiences that unfold before you. When you declare your power, your worth, your certainty in the unseen, and your gratitude for all that exists, you align yourself with the limitless potential that is already within you. Life does not respond to wishes, it responds to conviction. The world does not reflect back what you desire, it reflects what you assume to be true. Speak these words each morning, not as idle repetition, but as a deep, unwavering knowing. Stand in the consciousness of already having, already being, already living the life you seek. For when you assume it as real, it must be made manifest. You are the creator of your experience. You hold within you the power to shape reality, not through struggle or force, but through the effortless alignment of your inner world. Let each morning be a declaration of your sovereignty, a reminder of your infinite nature, and an unshakable testament to the truth that all you seek is already yours. The only question is, will you believe it?